Welcome back to Car Show 1, the place where we take you deep into the stories, history, and unique features of the world's most iconic and unusual vehicles. If you love learning about rare cars, forgotten classics, and the wild experiments that car manufacturers have tried over the years, you're in the right place. Today, we are going to explore something that almost feels like a myth, a truck that has intrigued enthusiasts for decades. It's the story of the 2001 Plymouth Ford F-150, a unique and little-known collaboration between two legendary American brands that were never supposed to meet. Whether you're a die-hard truck lover or a fan of Plymouth's muscle car heritage, this is a ride into automotive history you won't forget. Let's set the stage. By the late 1990s, Ford's F-150 had already cemented its place as America's best-selling truck, a position it had held for years. It was rugged, reliable, and had a loyal fanbase that stretched from farmers to construction workers to families who just loved its versatility. Plymouth, on the other hand, was facing the final years of its life. Known for legendary muscle cars like the Barracuda, the Road Runner, and the GTX, Plymouth was trying to stay relevant as part of the Chrysler family. Sales were declining, and the brand needed something bold to spark interest. Rumor has it, in 1999, an experimental design conversation started between a few executives who wondered, what if Plymouth made a pickup? And what if we built it on the best truck platform in America, the Ford F-150? Of course, Ford and Plymouth were rivals, and such a collaboration was unheard of. But in the world of concept vehicles, crazy ideas sometimes come to life in ways that defy logic. The project was never intended for mass production. Instead, it was designed as a one-off showcase, a kind of what-if vehicle for the 2001 Detroit Auto Show. The goal was to blend Plymouth's sleek, sporty styling cues with the raw capability and performance of the Ford F-150. The base was a 2001 Ford F-150 Supercab, powered by Ford's 5.4-liter Triton V8, a workhorse engine producing 260 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. But instead of the familiar Ford body lines, Plymouth's designers took over. They reimagined the truck with a more aerodynamic front fascia, inspired by the prow of the Plymouth Prowler Roadster. The grille had horizontal slats with a chrome center bar carrying a Plymouth badge, a surreal sight for anyone used to seeing a blue oval there. The headlights were reshaped to have a sharper, almost concept car style, and the hood featured a subtle power bulge that hinted at performance. From the side, the truck was unmistakably an F-150 in stance and size, but the lower body lines were smoothed out, and the wheel arches were more pronounced. Plymouth installed a set of 20-inch chrome 5-spoke wheels, wrapped in performance all-terrain tires, giving the truck both style and muscle. The paint job was something special, a deep metallic orange, similar to the iconic Prowler orange, which made the truck stand out like no other pickup on the show floor. Inside, the collaboration continued. Ford's rugged, practical interior was upgraded with Plymouth flair. The seats were leather with contrasting orange stitching, and the dashboard featured brushed aluminum accents with unique Plymouth badging. The steering wheel carried a hybrid emblem that merged the Plymouth ship logo with Ford's script lettering, a detail that fascinated automotive journalists. Even the gauge cluster had a custom design, with a 160 mph speedometer and a tachometer styled like Plymouth muscle cars from the late 60s. But this wasn't just about looks. Plymouth engineers worked with Ford's team to tune the suspension for a sportier ride. The truck sat slightly lower than a standard F-150, improving its handling without sacrificing towing capability. The 5.4 Triton engine was fitted with a freer-flowing exhaust, giving it a deeper, more aggressive sound. Test drivers at the time said it felt like driving a muscle truck, something that could haul a trailer in the morning and line up at a drag strip in the evening. The reaction when the 2001 Plymouth Ford F-150 debuted at the Detroit Auto Show was pure shock. People weren't sure what to make of it. Some thought it was a marketing stunt, others believed it signaled a new era of cross-brand collaboration. Car magazines ran headlines like, "When Worlds Collide," and "Plymouth's Last Stand as a Pickup Truck." For Plymouth fans, it was a bittersweet moment. The brand was already on its way out, with Chrysler announcing that Plymouth would be discontinued after the 2001 model year. This meant the truck was never going to see production. Still, the concept left an impression. Ford fans admitted the Plymouth design gave the F-150 a fresh personality, while Plymouth enthusiasts imagined an alternate universe where the brand lived on through performance trucks and crossovers. The one-off truck disappeared from the spotlight after its show appearances, with rumors suggesting it now sits in a private collection, rarely seen by the public. What's fascinating about the 2001 Plymouth Ford F-150 is that it represents a moment in time when automakers were more willing to experiment. It was the turn of the millennium, and design studios were playing with bold ideas. The Plymouth Ford mashup proved that even the most unlikely partnerships could create something beautiful. While some purists hated the idea of a Plymouth badge on a Ford truck, others loved the blend of muscle car style and pickup truck strength. Performance-wise, the concept's 5.4 Triton V8 wasn't a huge leap over the regular F-150, but it had personality. 0 to 60 came in about 7.8 seconds, which was quick for a full-size truck in 2001. The lowered suspension, upgraded brakes, and performance tires meant it could corner with surprising confidence. Plymouth's design also gave it better aerodynamics, which slightly improved highway fuel efficiency. The legacy of this truck is hard to define. Since Plymouth ended production in 2001, there was never a chance to build a lineup of pickups. But the F-150 collaboration has gained a cult following online, with forums and social media groups dedicated to tracking down photos, concept sketches, and insider stories. Some custom truck builders have even made their own replicas, using F-150s and modifying them with Plymouth-inspired styling. These tribute builds keep the dream alive for enthusiasts who wish the truck had made it to showrooms. In the broader history of American pickups, the 2001 Plymouth Ford F-150 stands out as a "what could have been" story. It challenges the idea that brands have to stay in their lane. Imagine if other cross-brand creations had happened, Chevrolet teaming with Dodge, or Pontiac designing a Jeep. These collaborations could have reshaped the market, but the reality is, corporate politics and brand loyalty often keep them from happening. Looking back, this truck also serves as a kind of farewell letter from Plymouth. It carried the brand's spirit, bold, stylish, a little bit rebellious, into a segment it had never touched before. For Ford, it was a chance to see their most famous truck through a different lens, one that valued design as much as utility. Today, if you could find the original concept truck, it would be a priceless piece of automotive history. Not just because it's rare, but because it tells a story that blends ambition, creativity, and the courage to try something unconventional. In a world where so many cars and trucks look the same, the 2001 Plymouth Ford F-150 reminds us that sometimes, breaking the rules is the best way to stand out. And that's what makes this truck so fascinating. It's not just a footnote in history. It's a conversation starter, a design experiment, and a piece of what-if automotive lore that continues to inspire gearheads over 20 years later. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the rarest and strangest trucks ever imagined, make sure to subscribe to Car Show 1 for more stories like this. We explore the forgotten, the experimental, and the legendary machines that have shaped the world of cars and trucks. Until next time, keep your engines roaring and your imaginations wide open, because you never know what kind of incredible story is waiting under the hood.